In one of the episodes we have seen that every action is determined by 5 variables. One of them is the performer. And of course, every action and every outcome or result differs with the person or performer involved in the action. For example, if the electrician does the job of the plumber or vice versa, if a goalkeeper becomes the main offensive player and the offensive player becomes the goalkeeper, if Leonardo da Vinci plays the Sixth Symphony and Beethoven has to paint the Mona Lisa, that the results would differ. One thing is clear, we are all compelled to act. Krishna says in chapter 3 verse 5 of the Bhagavad Gita, no one can remain still even for a moment without performing action. Everyone is helplessly forced to act by the gunas born from material nature. Each and everybody of us is bound by action, as even breathing is an action. The literal translation of action in Sanskrit is karma. Philosophically, karma implies obviously also the reaction of the action. There we have the law of karma, the law of cause and effect. And as karma is actually this law which binds us to this material world, it's important to know how to get free of it. So what are the qualities of a performer of action who dissolves karma and attains eventual liberation? And which are the qualities of a person who gets more and more entangled and bind or even degrades? Krishna says in chapter 18 verse 26 to 28. The performer of action who is free from attachment and self-centeredness, who is endowed with determination and enthusiasm, and is unaffected by success and failure, is said to be sattvic. That performer of action who desires the fruits of his actions, who is greedy, envious, impure, and always overwhelmed by delight and grief, is said to be in the mode of rajas. And that person who is unqualified, vulgar, stubborn, vicious, dishonest, lazy, morose, and a procrastinator is said to be tamasic. Which kind of a person or which kind of a form of action are you? Dishonesty, stubbornness, lazy, and vulgar are just a few qualities of a tamasic performer. When you have those qualities and give in to them, they will mean our spiritual degradation. So watch out for them. Example, many people now don't find motivation in their actions. They are working only to survive, trying to stamp the hours and to get paid. They're not interested in really doing something. Full of desires, expectations, greedy and envious, overwhelmed by delight if things go according to their own expectations, and grieving when they are not going to their own expectation. This is the mode of passion or rajas, which will bind us more and more into this world and its misery. For example, every normal worker who likes his job and tries to get acknowledgement, that one is in the mode of rajas. Acting free from expectation and attachment, but still doing one's best with enthusiasm, with determination, taking on responsibility without being affected by success or failure. These are spiritual uplifting qualities which a true seeker should strive for. For example, my master will always drill us in this direction. Requesting something, changing plans after a lot of enthusiasm and energy which has flown into a project, breaking step by step the expectation and the attachment to the result, till we realize that it is all about serving or acting in the best way possible without attachment to the outcome. Krishna said in chapter 5:11, renouncing all attachments to action and using the body, the mind, the intellect and the senses, the yogis act only to purify themselves. Action has only the purpose of purification of oneself. We should know where we stand and see which guna is predominant in us. Then only can we make a conscious choice of changing or continuing with our way. Life is sacred. We are a divine spark, an Atma, with a purpose to grow, to evolve, to realize, to serve and to love. Everything from this world will stay in this world once this body stops working. Let's use this knowledge to reflect on us and on our lives and make steps towards a change towards the betterment.